and welcome to this week's Excel Tip of the Week. Today we're going to talk about two functions in Excel, the SUMIF and the Countif function. Most of you are familiar with counting and summing in Excel. We use summing to add up numbers, and we use counting to determine how many of something there are. If we add the if condition to each of those functions, then we can count or sum when a given criteria is met. So we're going to revisit a candy store or a convenience store that we have, and we are taking inventory of our candy and our gum. So what I've got here is a brief list of what's available in my convenience store, identifying what is candy and what is gum, as well as the quantity that is sold. Well, I need to break that down a little bit further based upon the type of item. So we're going to focus in on the gum and the candy. So the first thing I want to know is how many different types of gum are available. I know it's pretty easy to count them in my limited data set, but imagine if you sold hundreds of different types of gum. So I'm going to use the Countif function. Obviously, with all formulas, they start with an equal sign, and I'm going to type in Countif. Now, let's actually open up the function wizard by clicking on the function icon here. Now that I've got my function wizard open, let's dig into the arguments. For the Countif function, there are two arguments. The range says, what do I look through to count? And then after that, I determine what the criteria is for actually counting something. So I want to look through my range of type. So all of my items in my convenience store have a type assigned to them, and I'm looking for a type that is very specific. So I'm going to search through this range of type. Then it says, well, what is my criteria? My criteria in the first option is going to be the word gum. Because that's a text option, I'm going to type gum using double quotes on either side. As you can see here in my wizard, it already is telling me the answer that I'm going to get is going to be 3. So I know that is correct. I'm going to say OK, and you can see that my formula counted how many times the word gum appeared in a given range. Now I can make that formula a little bit more user-friendly by doing a couple of things. Let's go back to the formula and edit it. And notice I had to actually type the word gum. Well, I've got gum and candy and any other type of product that I sell here identified in my table. So instead of actually using the word gum in quotes, I'm going to link to a specific cell that identifies the type. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lock my references because we always try to make a formula as user-friendly as possible so that I can copy it down or over or across and do different things with it. So I know that when I'm counting my information, I always want to look through this set range of type. So I'm going to lock my references, and if you're not familiar with that, I do have a tip of the week on it. You can go back and review. But I'm going to use the F4 function key, and I'm going to fully lock the range A4 to A10. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lock only column F by putting a dollar sign, there we go, in front of the F4, just the letter F. That way, when I copy down or across, it only changes the row, not my column. So now that I've made that formula a little user-friendly, I'm going to copy it and paste it down. All right, it gave me the answer I was looking for. How many different types of candy are there? There are 4 different occurrences of the word candy within the range A4 to A10. So, Countif, let's go back and revisit the formula again. Countif asks you to search through a range, or it asks Excel to search through a range. And in that range, if a criteria is met, it starts a counter, and it counts how many times that criteria is met within a given range. SUMIF is very similar in that there is a criteria, but there's actually two different ranges within the SUMIF formula. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to use my equal sign again, type SUMIF in my formula to get it started, and open my parentheses. Let's again click on the function icon to bring up the function wizard. The range and the criteria are similar to my Countif area. So the range is I want to again search through my type. My criteria will again start with the word gum in quotes. So if it is a text feature, we would put that data in double quotes on either end. And then I can't really sum up the words candy or gum. I have to identify a range for Excel to actually sum, a range that has numbers. Well, that range then is going to be the quantity sold. So the formula says every time I am going down column A and I identify where gum exists, start adding up whatever is in column C. So you can see I have 3 places where the word gum appears, and I have 3 numbers, 5 plus 7 plus 9. They do equal 21, and when I say OK, my answer appears. Again, we need to make this formula a little bit more user-friendly, so let's edit it one more time. I'm going to again lock the range where I am searching through to meet my criteria. I'm going to change my criteria to be the header right here in column F. And again, I'm only going to lock the $ on column F. And then it says, what do I search through for quantity sold? And I am going to lock this range as well so that it always is adding up the same pieces of data in quantity sold. So now that I've tweaked or updated my formula to make it a little more user-friendly, if I copy it down and paste it in, and we review the features, it is searching through the range of column A4 to A10 to look for anywhere now it says candy. And when it finds the word candy, we are going to go to column C and add up quantity sold. So 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 3 equals 33. So that is a great way to set up spreadsheets where you need to search through data and identify different components, whether it's how many using the Countif or a sum using the SUMIF. So thanks for joining me on this week's Excel Tip of the Week.